market, 200 bids across each of your individual sports. So they were really helpful in helping the NCAA streamline their bid process. So you bid on, they have basically, with the exception of a handful of events like the men's Final Four,
right.
Division I wrestling, Final Four, and all of that. So those are a couple that are just sort of their outliers. But now we submit bids for all sports across all divisions across 4 years in one fell swoop. Instead of them having wrestling might have had one deadline, then basketball had a deadline, then soccer had a deadline, and so you just could never get ahead of it, and it prevents a lot of people from bidding on events because the process was too cumbersome and arduous, and they've gotten really a lot better about it.
That's interesting too. That's another thing that you don't think about, right? And who would have thought the NCAA would be unorganized? Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
So. And I mean, I know we've hosted some Division II national championships.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure was the sports commission involved in that too.
Yes,
like getting those events here.
Yep.
I know we did. Was it at Livestrong Park then, or Children's Mercy Park?
Sporting, yeah. I'm not sure.
KC,
it was Division II football, national championship.
Yeah, and
women's soccer,
and we're working on a World Cup, right?
We are working.
Okay.
In fact, I've got to go to a meeting in a little while, but
well, real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about the Women's World Cup, the last one, and how ridiculously fun
the
Power and Light is.
Yep.
Power and Light must play a big part in everything that we do.
It does. It certainly does. Well, it definitely does for the events that take place at Sprint Center. But from a visual perspective, yes. And again, I mentioned earlier, our community turns out for these things, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're watching Women's World Cup games on television and they're flashing to Kansas City and they're repeatedly showing the crowd at Power and Light.
Might as well just leave that crane camera at the Power and Light, right?
We're that's all we need. That just helps us sell so much more easily. So yes, Power and Light plays a big role in our bids. But really, I mean, it's Power and Light, but it speaks to everybody crowding into Power and Light, right? You can have a great entertainment district, but if no one goes, there's no value to it.
We were there Super Bowl, the morning of the Super Bowl.
And it was full at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
we got there, because I think they were opening at 10, so I think I was there around 9:15, and people were already lined up. Yeah. People had been lined up, and then
spilled
I remember
over into Grand.
when they opened the gate, I think it was full in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just, you said Kansas City's a great sports town, and, I mean, our fans do turn out for those things. And, I mean, I know that has to make your job a little bit easier, right?
It does, and it makes it a lot more fun because it's really fun to talk about. It's really fun to showcase, again, just what Kansas City can bring to the table. When I was contemplating staying or leaving, I really wanted to work for an organization that was core to Kansas City and marketing that and showing what a great place it was. If it was going to be in sports, that was just going to be a huge bonus for me because I'm a sports fan. Mm-hmm. And so finding an opportunity with the Sports Commission who's just really rooted in bringing sports to Kansas City, supporting sports in Kansas City, making sports accessible to people in Kansas City, bringing big events. I mean, it's just it's super cool and fun, and it can be heartbreaking too when you work for months and months and months on a bid and you lose to someone else, and that I had to get over that pretty quickly when I first started. Because there's always another opportunity down the road. And I worked hard on that NFL draft bid, and they've put us through the ringer, and we rose to the occasion every time. And so when we won that, it was awesome.
Let's go ahead and give some kudos to your crew, your team. Who was on your team that helped get that?
I mean, it was it's a combined effort, but I would say obviously Kathy, myself, Mike Sharp, who's the director of business development, and then our creative and graphic design in-house manager, who's Amelia Hernandez. And you mentioned, I mean, we have 14 people on our staff, so I mean, it was a coordinated effort, but there was a lot to manage, and even again, just getting all the signed contracts that we needed to get from all of the venues, whether or not they're going to be selected. Right. The NFL requires them to basically block out a ridiculous amount of time, and at little to no cost. So there's
And so, I mean, you said like you kind of were bidding from, like over a 4-year period to host one of them. So do they kind of give you like a month of like it's going to take place in April? They get that year, or how narrow do they give
four sets of dates?
Okay,
it's always around the same time.
Yeah.
So yes, they indicated that it would occur in each year across 4 potential, long weekends, if you will. But when they come in here like 2 weeks ahead to start setting up, which is part of, we talked about economic impact, right? Like. They'll come in, the NFL brings a giant crew probably 2 weeks before the event to start everything. So it's even more hotel rooms and more money spent at restaurants and using local companies to rig and build the stage and so on and so forth. So that all kind of factors into our mission, which is obviously making Kansas City better through sports for people, but also the economy. And we drive a tremendous amount of economic revenue for the Kansas City metropolitan area every year.
Have you guys over at the Sports Commission tried to get a golf PGA event?
All right, here's the golf.
You sound like my dad. That's all he ever wants to talk about is getting a golf tournament.
PGA Tour?
Yeah. I don't care.
That'd be great.
I mean, we've already got the
economics of that are challenging. It would be a long conversation, if we have time for right now.
Can we bring your dad on the show for this?
Should bring my dad
on the show,
just for that segment, right? Just bring him in.
Well, that's a 2-hour segment with Dad, right?
He's probably It's it's a little bit it's challenging for us as an organization, and frankly, to make the economics of a big golf tournament work. And I know that sounds a little counterintuitive, but it's not. I can't get into it's.
We can move on.
There you go.
Yeah, it's different.
So, I mean, obviously, we're big fans of you and the Sports Commission and everything you do, and I mean, we really enjoy it, and you guys do a great job.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your support. We really appreciate it.
We just like I said, trying to help get the word out, about your organization, and I mean, you guys make Kansas City an even better place. I mean, it's already great, but you guys make it better through sports.
Keeps getting better, keeps growing.
We try.
So,
is
it time for final question?
Yes.
wait, real quick. What else is coming up for the Sports Commission?
Yeah. So, I mentioned the NCAA bid process. So just before COVID hit, we had submitted all of our bids for. I'm going to mess up the years, but let's say I think it was 2022 through 2026 or 23 through 27. I can't remember exactly, but it was their next round, and they were supposed to announce those awards this summer. That's being postponed, so we won't know. I mean, obviously they're dealing with a whole host of challenging issues.
They got to figure out how to get their moneymaker on the field this fall.
Football, So we were really excited to sort of see what sports we won, for the out years, because that always helps us also from a schedule build. The NCAA, believe it or not, drives a lot of our schedule, because if we are going to be hosting a big event, then we can't necessarily bid on something that might be hosted at the same time. Again, we're talking to the NFL about a potential event in September. We've got the NFL draft. The Kansas City Marathon is our largest endurance event fundraiser. As of right now, that's still on.
Is that one of your biggest fundraisers?
Yeah.
Financially?
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. We don't market it as such. I would guess 99% of the people don't even know that the Sports Commission hosts that and produces it, and that it's a fundraiser.
We can do a golf tournament for a fundraiser.
We are doing a golf tournament for a fundraiser.
Hey, call me.
Actually,
golf
the National.
I'm there.
We just added that for obvious reasons.
You need some help?
Yeah.
He's
all in on golf, man.
He's all in.
It's the Commission
Classic.
Classic.
He has a golf itch right now.
Hopefully, it'll be an annual thing. But yes, that's a new fundraiser that we're working on in September. As of right now, the Kansas City Triathlon.
We'll broadcast from 6 holes.
Okay.
Sweet.
We acquired the Kansas City Triathlon last year. So this would have been our first year owning that event. That is still scheduled. We postponed it from July to August 21st right now. That's still scheduled to happen. There might be some adjustments in place with respect to producing it. So, our slate of endurance events, as of right now for the fall, are still on, including our Thanksgiving Day 5K run and family stroll that happens out at Sprint Campus. although I don't know what that's going to be called now moving forward. But, and, the Win for KC component, which, the Women's Intersport Network for Kansas City is a subsidiary of the Kansas City Sports Commission. They also do a female-focused awards show. That's still on for February, although we're talking about, alternatives for that as well, timing-wise. We just introduced a new virtual run. It's called the Kansas City Landmark Tour. So we built 4 different 5K courses. One in Midtown, one sort of in the Loose Park Ward Parkway area, one downtown, and then one kind of around where the Scout is, so sort of like, Midtown also. And we have 4 very cool commemorative shirts featuring landmarks along each of those 5Ks. Again, we're trying to do what we can to come up with events that people might be interested in to help sustain our organization, because we did have to convert the women's triathlon to a virtual option. So right now we're focused on...
I got one for you.
Yeah?
We'll talk later.
Okay.
Golf?
No, this is basketball.
Yeah.
Right.
My favorite sport, basketball.
All right. I mean, we're pretty well set for basketball, but...
Well, this would be fun.
Okay.
All right.
So I don't know. We're pivoting anywhere we can. We're really focused on the endurance events that we own right now and just figuring out plans for those. We're in daily communication with the NFL. World Cup's going to heat up here really quickly. So
I want that bad.
Yeah.
I think that'd be so fun.
That's your golf.
I think we're in a really good position for that.
That's great.
But we are speaking to a very different audience than we're used to speaking to.
Yeah.
So our challenge in educating people about Kansas City on the FIFA side is one we've never faced before. There's a lot of them that have never heard of Kansas City, don't know what it is, don't know where it is.
And one thing you say, well, I don't want to badmouth FIFA, but let's say this: NCAA, FIFA, kind of the same realm for me. So I don't know.
Yeah, you got to be careful right now with our guests.
I love FIFA;
no,
they're my favorite in the world.
One of the, you learn a lot about these governing bodies and overarching organizations when you're in our world.
A lot of red tape.
And you asked
stuff.
the question earlier about like the NFL draft. The NFL really thinks of that as a league event, not a team event. So the Chiefs were not really, they did not want to be involved. They were not involved. They did not, we asked them several times, like, can you put in a good word?
Brad G.
Rightfully so, it was church and state. They were like, this is a league event and a city event, not a team event.
You couldn't say, come on, Brad G. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Brad.
Yeah.
Don't you do something out at your urban youth village too, a softball thing?
No, that's not us.
Okay.
The Ladies of the Diamond or the...
Something, I don't know.
No.
Okay. I thought it was you, but...
All right, Austin.
Final question. Yeah, final question. So this question's it's probably the toughest question we ask. It's really hard. You got to make sure you don't burn any bridges. I don't know, because I know you depend on donation sponsorships. I don't know. But favorite barbecue, KC, what is it? And what's your favorite dish?
Joe's Kansas City Burnt Ends.
There you go.
There you go.
Joe's has probably been lately the most popular answer, I think.
I do like Char Bar too, but Joe's is probably, that's what we go to most often.
Which location?
Always the Kansas gas station location.
All right, cool.
I've never been to any of the other ones.
Well, is that right?
They are.
No.
I used to work right by the one on her.
They catered my rehearsal dinner. Joe's. So
there you go.
I had strukla from I think it was Jenny's on Strawberry Hill, a little Croatian joint.
Yeah.
That's not.
My husband couldn't have cared less about anything, but demanded Joe's Kansas City cater. So.
That's awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, they're down at Power and Light now too in the county.
Yeah, I haven't even been to that one, the Icebox one.
Yeah, the county.
Yeah,
Country
Jim
Road, County Road, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I actually scored, I think, an $80 gift card there because one of the marketing people there said we could broadcast live, but the corporate of that bar says no. And so for the mess up and having to make last-minute changes, we had some good barbecue Super Bowl Sunday afternoon.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
good question.
Thank you again for coming on.
Thank
you. Just kind of talking, and we can tell, you're passionate about what you do. And like I said, we're big fans, and we like what you guys do and all these great events that you bring to Kansas City. The the Elite Eight a couple years ago. I mean, I forgot to mention that, but I went.
Men's regionals.
Yeah, went to that. You know, it was supposed to be. Wasn't it Carolina and somebody we were hoping to see?